Hello, social workers, mental health professionals, and change agents. Welcome to another episode of the Social Work Rants podcast. I'm your host, Bass Moreno. Hope everybody's doing well out there, wherever and however you're listening to the podcast. Thank you so much for tuning in for another weekly episode. Uh, please subscribe to the YouTube channel. Search the Social Work Rants podcast. Type it in, hit the subscribe button. I really appreciate it. You can follow the podcast on Instagram at the Social Work Rants Podcast. That is all one word. You could follow the podcast on Twitter at Social Work Rants. You could follow the page on Facebook. Type in the Social Work Rants Podcast. Hit the like button. The Facebook page is growing really, really quickly. I appreciate all the love, all the support. You can listen to the podcast on all audio platforms as well, your Spotify's, your Anchors, your iHeart Radios, however you're listening to the podcast, all throughout the world, reaching almost 40 countries now. So I appreciate a lot of love, a lot of support. If you want to be a guest on the podcast, I'm always looking for social workers, mental health professionals to come on the podcast and connect through the podcast. Tell me your story, what you do in social work, mental health. Please email me at Bass City Entertainment LLC at gmail.com. That's Bass City Entertainment LLC at gmail.com. And this episode of the podcast is being sponsored by Bass City Entertainment, your online source for self care needs, with the upcoming poetry book by yours truly. Triumph Through Pain is coming soon. Um, hoping a miracle if I put it out before 2021, to be honest with you, but I'm working on it. Waiting on some pictures to come in to put in the book. The written part is done. It's just everything else that comes with writing a book uh, and things like that. So it's coming. It's coming soon. That being said, this week's episode is about the Social Security cost of living increase that's coming for 2022 for all social workers, case managers, care managers who help clients with Medicaid recertifications, food stamp recertifications. This is big news for you guys. So stay tuned to that. And also, we're going to discuss the COVID-19 funeral assistance program. I have seen nobody at all talk about this program that FEMA is doing. I'm living proof that FEMA is giving out money, and I will discuss that in this episode. So that's what this episode is about. Two topics. I'm going to hit them real quick. It's not going to be a long episode. I got interviews coming up in the next couple of weeks. So I'm ending 2021 with a bang with episodes featuring your favorite mental health professionals. So let me go right into the COLA, as they call it, the cost of living adjustment. So Social Security benefits, if you get SSI, SSD, SSA, if you have any kids who get SSI benefits, SSD benefits, death benefits for a loss of a parent, the cost of living increase is going up to 5.9%. Is probably one of the biggest jumps in the last 20 something years. So, however, Medicaid premiums for the seniors is going up. So supposedly people are going to still see some money extra, but with the Medicare for the seniors, the premiums are going up too. So let's see what happens, to be honest with you. So I used to work with seniors prior to my move to New York. So November, December was always the time that they're mailing out SSI award letters for the following year for anybody that is caring for a senior. Be on the lookout for new SSI award letters for 2022 between the rest of this month for November and December and the beginning of January. They usually mail them out at this time. So it's a folded piece of paper, is folded in three. You rip off the top, and it has the person's name on it. So that's a little quick tidbit in terms of the cost of living. The COLA, 5.9% increase for 2022. They just want to, the government just want to be done with Social Security because a 5.9 increase is a lot. So supposedly Social Security is going to be done within the next 5 to 10 years. Um, so people want to get their money however they're going to get it. So please be mindful for if you applying for Medicaid. This might affect your clients. If people who get food stamps, it might affect them negatively depending how much they get a month. So please, mental health professionals, social workers, we do have LMSWs doing case management work out there. So doing the food stamp Medicaid recertifications, Medicaid recertifications. So this is something I wanted to address right away. So let's go into the big thing, which is and again, this is, I have international listeners. This is for the United States of America, this cost of living increase regarding Social Security. Now, this COVID-19 funeral assistance program, I don't know if other countries are doing this or got a better program than the U.S. has, but here in the U.S., it's COVID-19 funeral assistance program. It's from the federal government, FEMA. If you know anything about FEMA, they haven't um, been messing up sometimes in terms of recoveries from hurricanes and floods and things like that. And other times they do a great job and helping out people. So this COVID-19 funeral assistance program for obviously many people have passed away from COVID, and so funerals are expensive. Death is expensive. Um, whether it be a funeral home, whether it be cremation. I know people don't like to talk about death, especially us Black and brown folks. We don't like to talk about death. When something happens, some of us do GoFundMe pages instead of having life insurance. That's a whole other topic for another day. Um, so cost of living. So this COVID-19 funeral assistance program, they have a hotline. It's called, the phone number is 844-684-6333. That's the first thing you need to do, is to call the hotline. It started June 29th of 2021, so this year. They amended the policy. I heard you could get up to $10,000 reimbursement for funeral expenses. I went on the website and I don't see that amount. I was told this when I applied for my mom. If you've been listening to the podcast or know me, or however you are following me on Instagram, my mom passed away last year. Um, I heard about this, and I saw this, and I applied for it, and I actually got no reimbursement for my expenses for my mom. So it's legit. You just got to go through some hoops like everything else with the government, and but you're gonna get your money. So if here's the eligibility, and I'm reading this right off the FEMA.gov website. That's FEMA.gov. So if you had clients, family members of clients who passed away and they struggling to pay funeral expenses, or they paid it and hoping to get some reimbursement back, so this is for you guys. So for deaths occurred after May 16th, 2020, the death certificate must indicate that the death was attributed to COVID-19. In my situation, after my mom passed away, they did give me a death certificate. She passed away in New York. Initially, it did not say cause of death. So I heard in New York, initially somebody passed away. For some reason, they don't put the cause of death. So eventually, I even called the morgue, the city New York morgue, and they told me, oh, the funeral home should have gave you uh the size of the paper is like 8.5 by 14 document paper, and it should, which is the official death certificate, and it will tell you the cause of death, and it has to say COVID-19. Otherwise, you will not get the money. Um, so the death has to be attributed to COVID-19 in order for you to get the reimbursements. For deaths, and again, I'm reading this off the website FEMA.gov. For deaths that occurred from January 20th, and this is 2020, and again, this occurred from January 2020 to May 16, 2020, any death certificate that doesn't not include attribute the cause of death to COVID-19 must be accompanied by a signed statement listing COVID-19 as a cause or contributing cause of death. So it has to be some sort of documentation. We in social work, like we always say, documentation. If, if it's not documented, it didn't happen. So any documentation, whether and usually the person that signs off on the death certificate is the person you need to contact a lot of times. And again, each state is different, but this is from the federal government. So each state might do some extra hoops for you, for whoever you need to contact, but it has the death certificate or any medical documentation after the person passed away must have COVID-19 as the attributing cause of death. So this is my point moving forward. The signed statement must be provided by the original certificator of the death certificate or the local medical examiner, coroner from the jurisdiction in which the death occurred. So, my example in New York, my mom passed away in a funeral home, in a nursing home, and I had to go deal with the nursing home to try to get the documentation and deal with a funeral home and get that. So, and then I had to go back to the funeral homes like, hey, I need an official death certificate because I'm doing the FEMA application, and they provided that for me. So again, each city is different, each state is different for whatever reason. So if this applies to any family, there's been a lot of loss. Um, you got clients, family members. This is important information. I wanted to share it out. Um, you call the 844 number. You if you want to do the application under your name that you're applying for, put the person's name, whoever passed away, their date of birth, cause of death. They'll give you prompts over the phone on what to do, and then once you're done with the application, they'll email you, and you're able to follow up on the application online. They'll give you a website to go on, and there's like check status, and if you need to upload more documents or medical documents, you're able to do it online, and they'll follow up with you. They even will call you to give you updates like, hey, if you're missing something, like I was missing a couple of things as well, so I had to like keep updating the application until I finally uh, got the money that I spent. um, So if the death certificate was issued from January 20th to May 20th, 2016, it must be either attribute the death directly or indirectly to COVID-19 or be accompanied by its signed statement from the original certificate of the death certificate or medical examiner, coroner. Yeah, I just explained that earlier. So again, the important thing is the death certificate and must say official death certificate. I'm trying to apply for FEMA, to do funeral assistance program, and the death certificate must say attributed to COVID-19 or as a result of COVID. It has to say that in order for you to get reimbursed for funeral expenses. Like I said, funerals are expensive. Even the person wanted to be cremated, cremation, especially 2020, um, was expensive. So, and it still can be expensive. So, death and dying, that's another topic for another day that definitely needs to be talked about in social work. And and I wanted to give these two important resources. I used to do a lot of case management, so I'm always was needing a SSI award letter for something, and having caregivers, being a caregiver of parents, um, elderly parents, and I'm always needing an SSI award letter in my personal life. So this is for anybody who needs this information. It's quick to the point. Um, I know Thanksgiving's coming up here in America. Hope everybody has a safe, happy Thanksgiving as best as possible. The holidays are not always a good time for people, so just be mindful of people. Just because you may have a great Thanksgiving and everybody's together with family, there's other people who don't look forward to the holidays, and so just be mindful, respect others, stay safe. We still in a pandemic, even though there's people out there just you still got to live your lives, but at the same time, people act like we are not in a pandemic. So, um, especially a lot of social work agencies, but stay safe, wear your mask, take it easy, take one day at a time. Until next week, yes, there will be an episode on Black Friday. I'm not going to stop. So while you do your shopping, Black Friday or Cyber Monday, you can listen to episodes or go back to previous episodes, season 3, so far as I'm trying to be mindful of providing education for those that need it. And we're going to keep moving on. The merch, I gotta figure out what the heck teespring.com did with my merch. I may have to like switch over and try Printful or something like that in terms of merchandise. So it came out nice. Like it was like, but I got for some reason the link was not working for the merch. So merch is coming soon. I'm trying to get back to the merch game with some hoodies and some long sleeve shirts like I'm wearing right now. The t-shirts. You see my picture right here with the t-shirt. So, again, stay safe. If you're listening to the podcast on audio, I was selling t-shirts on teespring.com /stores /bass uh, MRMSW. So the BASMRMSW was the link for the podcast merch. For some reason, there's something going on with it. So I got to check that out. So until next week, stay safe. Talk to you soon. Peace.